We will continue in Psalm 71 today, where the writer says he will never be put to shame for trusting in the Lord. And today he says he will run to the Lord continually. Good morning. This is Ernie Lewis, pastor of the Blue Point Free Will Baptist Church in Sisney, Illinois, with your thoughts for Tuesday. You know, the writer begins this psalm asking for God to hear his cry, to deliver him, or even cause him to escape those who oppose him and those who mean him harm. In the next verse, he reminds us, as well as himself, to make God his refuge. He says in Psalm 71 and verse 3, "Be my strong refuge, to which I may resort continually. You have given the commandment to save me, for you are my rock and my fortress. Deliver me, O my God, out of the hand of the wicked, out of the hand of the unrighteous and cruel man." Have you ever noticed a house where there is a storm cellar? One of those places where you can run and hide during a serious threat of storm or tornado that has already been predicted for your area. We have a friend who purchased one of those safe houses. It's actually a big room that you bury in the ground to be a shelter in the time of storm. Even stocked it with all of the necessary food, I think maybe to live a month there. I don't know. So my question for him was, how many times have you resorted to that shelter for its safety? Have you ever eaten even one of those rations that you place there for emergencies? Now, the answer may very well be that there have not been any great threats or imminent threats on our neighborhood. But the psalmist calls the Lord here his strong refuge. And he talks about a shelter in the time of storm. God becomes an impregnable fortress where we can go and we can hide. Now, perhaps like the one who has prepared meticulously for the big strong storm, maybe we never resort to this place for our safety, or we even forget its sturdiness. He says, "You are my strong refuge, to which I may resort continually." You know, we have even heard of strong threats of storms on the news. Tornado watches. As a matter of fact, they've even mentioned the name of our little town. Now that's close. But we have never really sought refuge anywhere. One night, some people called us from the church basement and said, "Why aren't you up here?" But God says here, "I will be a shelter in the time of storm." What about that shelter that God provides for his own? I mean, we know that he is that strong refuge. He even says, "You've given the commandment to save me." God is out to deliver his people. God has done everything he possibly can to rescue us from the evils of this world, yet perhaps we never run to him for that protection or that deliverance. The psalmist says, "Deliver me out of the hand of the wicked." And maybe this prayer isn't just for me. Perhaps it is for all the saints around us, or even for our nation today. Deliver us out of the hand of the unrighteous and the cruel man, those who oppose our beliefs or our convictions, maybe even our righteous proclamations that we read from God's word. Today, there's a lot of opposition to that. What will it take for us to realize this strong refuge that God provides for us to run to? And how often will we run? The writer says, continually, trusting in his safety, resting in his arms.